Thank you so much for joining. On this channel, we will be discussing and showing videos on a wide variety of topics and things that I hope you will find interesting, fascinating, informative, useful, engaging, inspiring, fun, and worth your time. Some of the topics will be cars, vehicle reviews and impressions, music compilations, phone reviews, at-home food preparation and cooking, handmade illustrations and graphs, body contouring and sculpting, hair removal, custom creations, how-to videos with designs and sketches with a walkthrough, compilation videos, and much more. As such, to easily navigate this channel, just click on the playlist tab, sit back, and enjoy. Thank you so much once again for watching, and please, if you may, consider commenting, liking, and subscribing. Hello, and thank you so much for tuning in. The car you see here is the all-new, semi-legendary, car enthusiast-loving, 1990s and 2000s highly capable and tunable Honda Civic Si, a car that has been one of the foremost contenders and title holders in the compact car enthusiast community. In the arena of compact sport cars, the Si badge has tradition and a cultural following. The Si badge was introduced about 40 years ago on the JDM version of the third-gen Civic, and prior to that, in the United States, it appeared on the CRX in 1985. Since then, the Si badge has crested its prominent logo on just about every iteration of the Civic, endowing it with a more sporty drive, a more dominant appearance, and gifting it with a performance-minded fun-to-value ratio. For 2025, the new Honda Civic Si has returned with updates to its face and tail and features, and most importantly, the wonderful snickety-snappity, silky smooth and precise shifting short-throw manual transmission has survived the cut and has graciously and favorably returned once again. In this video, I will discuss the smoother design language, the appearance of the exterior and interior, the fuel economy and efficiency, the new technology, pricing, seating, dimensions, performance, a trip down memory lane, a quick poll to see which year is most loved, and comparisons to its possible rivals, along with some other useful info and insights. The general impression of the new Civic Si is that it has a stiffer chassis, comes in a 6-speed manual-only transmission, implements an expanded rev-matching tech algorithm, has a larger touchscreen infotainment screen, heated sporty seats with SI logos, larger brake rotors, a stiffer suspension, a splash of crimson red accents to demarcate its sportiness, and other tech improvements. As always, it is a front-engine, front-wheel drive, 5-passenger vehicle, and in this model year, it will be a 4-door sedan only. Please note, due to certain changes and lack of some improvements, many of the topics in this video will have a humble hint of personal opinion to substantiate its implementation and execution versus its exclusion. As was done in the recent 2025 BMW M5 video, the 2025 Honda Civic Si has roots that date back to the 1980s when a mild performance and handling massage was given to special Hondas. Over the years, it built upon that to make itself known as the more fun and sport-tuned version of the Honda vehicle, the CRX Si, and other generations of the Civic that carried the street cred and the street-approved Si badge. Being so well-loved and desired and respected, it irks many, many people as to why Honda chose to make its second-in-command and sportiest Civic have less power than a more fuel-efficient hybrid version of itself. The once-desired Civic Si has the possibility of becoming the new undesirable Si. And I'm not saying this to undermine the Civic Si, as it's an honest effort at bringing a sport fun factor to car enthusiasts, but having the same power output as a few years ago, which happens to be less than the current hybrid version, will make many potential customers overlook this very respectable and fun-to-drive vehicle. As its name indicates, this vehicle is about quicker speed, performance, and responsiveness, along with a minor boy racer attitude, which also can seat at least 4 adults. And it is only available as a tried-and-true, driver-engaging, manual transmission car. Based on the current adaptation of the 2025 Civic, the new Si sticks with the same formula but adds some flavor and spice when compared to its lesser forms. From the movie twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, the Civic Si and the Civic Type can be thought of as one twin which obtained all the nutrients needed to be healthy and strong and powerful, and the other is a lesser version that makes do with what it has and makes an honest effort to be the best it can be under the circumstances. This is how many will perceive the new Civic Si versus the Type R, due to it not having an increase in its power output. That said, it will still achieve its goal of being a fantastic car especially made for enthusiasts. For the exterior details, the 2025 Civic Si has newly restyled front and rear bumpers with a new headlight signature, as well as a darker hue to its rear tail lights. The visual enhancements mimic the changes that have been made to the new 2025 Civic lineup. The front bumper is arguably more refined and mature, with the lower grille adopting a different shape, featuring a hexagonal inlay. As for the wheels, they have been redesigned as well, with a change that clearly makes the current wheels on the 2024 version, which are still available on the base 2025 Civic Sport, look superior. Seeing the rims on each shows a clear picture that the previous wheels were more sporty in appearance and more visually impactful, and arguably more aggressive looking. Even though both are matte black and double spoke, the new ones look less sporty, less aggressive, less impactful, they have less flair. All in all, these updates have not been purposely attention-grabbing nor offensive, so that notorious boy racer, rice runner, image will not apply. For the interior, the heated front seats are more akin to racing seats, with body-hugging bolstering to hold the front occupants in place during spirited driving. There is also an SI logo in the headrest as well. There will be a standard 9-inch infotainment screen with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay compatibility mated to a 12-speaker Bose stereo system. Since Honda has teamed up with Google for more feature content via Google built-in, the new Civic Si also comes with native Google Assistant baked in, which will give a more refined and smoother flowing Google Maps and Google Apps content experience to the end user. This 9-inch touchscreen is also adorned with beautiful and much loved, much appreciated, and always welcomed buttons and knobs. In regards to the instrument cluster, there will be a 10.2-inch digital gauge cluster. On top of all this content, Honda has gifted Si drivers with an F1-style shift light to alert the driver when to shift, especially when performing various levels of spirited driving. Moreover, the safety assistance and driver assistance features are all present, including standard forward collision warning with automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning with lane keep assist, and adaptive cruise control. Stemming from the comparison to the Type R earlier, the engine on the new 2025 Civic Si is the same 4-cylinder 1.5-liter turbocharged and intercooled dual overhead cam engine from years prior, powering the front wheels only, combined with a standard limited slip differential. It has direct fuel injection and still develops a respectable 200 horsepower at 6,000 RPM with a 6,600 redline, and 192 pound-feet of torque at 1,800 RPM, which is 300 RPM lower than before. It seems as though having a manual as the only option and focusing on the car's nimble handling prowess were the most crucial things focused on. As such, the performance will see marginal improvements due to its stiffer chassis, recalibrated dampers, and increased torsional rigidity. To round out the boy racer fun factor, the new Civic Si can also auto-blip from second gear to first gear as well, which adds to this model's sporty and animated character. The performance equation for the standard manual transmission 2025 Civic Si should be identical to the 2022 Civic Si, which will enable it to conquer the 0 to 60 time in under 7 seconds and the quarter mile in about 15 seconds. Not bad for a tiny 1.5-liter power plant, no? Even though it has less torque than the hybrid Civic Sport, its gearing, tuning, and weight allow it to be marginally quicker. It should stop from 70 miles per hour in less than 160 feet, with summer tires, and pull about 0.94 Gs on the skid pad. To retouch a concept discussed from the 2025 BMW M5 video that was mentioned earlier, there is a saying made famous by the automotive legend Carroll Shelby. It goes something like this: horsepower sells cars, torque wins races. Honda may have sparked more lust and desire for the newest Civic Si if they would have just marginally increased its output. Giving it just 5 to 15 horsepower, more than the hybrid, would have been immensely viewed as a positive thing. With the ethos of the Si badge on Hondas, I want to venture out and say that maybe it would have been a tad better if Honda would have engineered this version to have the smallest edge in power over the newest Civic Hybrid. Ultimately, I have no say on this, and this is a contentious topic, but it is a question that begs an answer. For instance, if all things are similar in regards to performance and speed and drivability, spending about $30,000 for a car that gets about 50 miles per gallon with 2 pedals, or spending the same $30,000 for a car that gets 25 to 30 miles per gallon with 3 pedals? For me, personally, and in my most non-biased humble opinion, I would choose the Civic Type R, an older unmolested S2000, or maybe even a 2007 version. I don't know. In an alternate reality, what would happen if Honda would? Scenario 1. Put a 2.0-liter from the previous Accord, tuned to 225 horsepower with 230 pound-feet of torque? Or, Scenario 2. Tune the 1.5-liter to over 215 horsepower and maybe installed an e-turbo to spool faster? Or, Scenario 3. Installed the same engine from the hybrid variant, with around 220 horsepower and 235 pound-feet of torque, while keeping the short-throw manual transmission. This way, it would get over 40 miles per gallon and be incredibly fun to drive, and there would be zero competition. For its pricing, the new 2025 Civic Si that comes with a manual transmission only starts at just under $30,000, factoring in tax, destination and handling, and registration. It will cost over $30,000. For that price, the also new Civic Sport Hybrid is available with similar performance, same size, same appearance more or less, and provides far better fuel efficiency. But the hybrid is not a manual. This leaves the biggest question to be answered for the price. Getting the Civic Si is seemingly made for those that primarily want to drive a sporty front-wheel drive manual transmission car, and that's awesome. But if it wasn't for that, getting the Civic Sport Hybrid would be a default choice otherwise. Because basing it on performance and fuel economy alone, the hybrid version ties it by being within a 5% margin of error, or surpasses it in many areas. As for the trims, this is probably the best part since there is no thinking involved, nor necessary. When choosing the trims on the 2025 Honda Civic Si, there are only two considerations, and that is going with or without summer tires. This is because all Civic Si models come fully equipped and fully loaded. This makes the entire process incredibly simple and straightforward. For the fuel economy aspect, the Civic has always been a well-engineered fuel-sipping vehicle. This year's new Civic Si will get relatively identical mileage to the 2022 Si, since all its internals are similar. Expect about 27 or 28 in the city, and about 37 to 38 miles per gallon on the highway. For its dimension and specs, since the 2025 Civic Si has the same measurements as variants of the Civic, nothing has changed. The length is 184 inches with a 70.9-inch width and a height of just over 55 inches. The trunk is cavernous at over 14 cubic feet and it weighs about 3,000 pounds. Aren't these specs beautiful for a compact sports sedan? Now, to invoke some emotional dissonance, making a direct familial comparison, and to play devil's advocate in a way, which version of the Civic would be the best to buy and keep long-term? Which will provide the least headache versus which will be the most engaging and most fun? The elephant in the room is price and horsepower in relation to money saved at the pump. The two are at opposing ends of the compact sedan segment made by the same company. One is a driver-focused compact sports sedan with 3 pedals that sits just under the Civic Type R, and the other is a soft-spoken, never asks for anything, all-is-well hybrid. They both have McPherson front suspension systems and a multi-link rear suspension, but the SI version has a standard helical limited slip differential which helps to transfer power when slippage occurs, thereby enhancing steering and acceleration out of corners. The SI also has lightweight single-mass flywheel which increases throttle response and is more durable. The SI also has a larger brake setup as well. Here's a little graph to show a quick comparison between the 2025 Honda Civic Si and the 2025 Honda Civic Sport Hybrid. It compares the engine size, the power output, the weight, the 0 to 60 times, the powertrain, the fuel economy, and the price. So, for $30,000, will the Civic Si be a better choice? Or, for the same price, will the Civic Sport Hybrid be a better choice? Please let me know in the comments section as I'd like to see what the viewers are thinking. In regards to competitors or challengers or rivals, the Civic Si may not have many in the ever-changing sedan arena. Although the following might not be direct competitors, some people might be tempted to cross-shop them. The Teutonic Germans, the VW Golf GTI and/or the VW Jetta GLI, the newcomer, the hard-hitting Hyundai Elantra and another fan favorite, the sure-footed all-wheel drive, the ravenous Subaru WRX. To explore some lost-in-time versions, a little history might be refreshing to see and hear. So now, let's change gears and start off with a short trip down memory lane. What made so many Hondas with the SI badge so vaunted and desired, and recognized by car enthusiasts? What gave them so much street cred? Was it the original 1984 CRX SI that showed how lightweight sporty front-wheel drive cars are viable in the enthusiast sector? Was it the stubby 1986 and/or the 1991 Civic Si hatchback? Would the 1996 Civic Si in blue evoke memories of junior high school or high school and college and bring back memories of the Fast and Furious movies? Would the in-your-face 2002 European hatchback Si still cause goosebumps? How about the 2007 Si with its peppy and high-revving engines that wailed around the track as it zipped through others? Or the 2015 Civic Si that started becoming more aware of its surroundings? And lastly, this new version, the 2025 Si that is the most advanced and most feature-rich one yet? And before I conclude this video, I would like to know which model year of the Civic and/or Civic Si is your favorite. The 1984-1991 CRX Si, the 1986-1991 Civic Si, the 1996 Civic Si in blue, the 2002 European hatchback Civic Si, the 2007 Civic Si, the 2015 Si, or the new 2025 Civic Si. And now, for some of my final thoughts. Where can I start? This is the newest, most technologically advanced Civic Si ever. The much-praised Si badge on Hondas has been in the automotive industry for over 40 years. For 40 years, this badging has represented a driver-focused and engaging demeanor, sportiness, and the affinity for fun. Over the years, the cars have been refined, improved, sold as a sedan, hatchback, and as a coupe. They have primarily been higher-revving inline four-cylinder cars with a unique raspy and zingy exhaust note. They have provided decades of value and performance, and this 2025 version is no different. Could the new 2025 Civic Si stand out in a sea of sport-oriented sedans with its manual transmission? Absolutely. Could it be considered fun to drive, nimble, light, Sprightly, quick on its feet, and engaging? Definitely. Could it be considered unapologetically rudimentary with its phenomenal manual transmission? Most likely. Could it be considered quick? Probably. Could it be considered a step up from the value to performance perspective when compared to the Civic Sport Hybrid? In my opinion, probably not, or a soft maybe. As a person who has driven several manual transmission Hondas, from the 1999 Civic Si to the 2001 Acura NSX that I couldn't fit in, to the absolutely fantastic 9,000 RPM Redline 2002 Honda S2000 with a short shifter and some others in between, I'll reserve my impressions until after the newest iteration of the Civic Si is seen, driven, and then calculate its capabilities firsthand. Until then, we can all assume that this version will be a truly fun and engaging and wonderfully engineered car, as decades of history have proven so thus far. Fans and followers and owners of the SI badged Civics understand its no-nonsense everyday usability and comfort. It is sporty yet has the ability to provide all-day comfort for all occupants. It is roomy, has a spacious trunk, has a feisty engine transmission setup, has a reasonable price in today's market, and best of all, retains its smooth shifting and gratifying to engage manual transmission. The new 2025 Civic Si will surely be another great sporty compact sedan with an appropriately sized roomy interior cabin, all modern-day techno-wizardry with screens and connectivity with great all-around performance. Ultimately, the new 2025 Civic Si is a compact four-door sports sedan that does not offend by being overly styled or too raucous, nor is it attention-grabbing in a way that could be obnoxious. Instead, it is a true to form, fun driving, driver-engaging, manual shifting, apex-hugging, agile little car that has a huge and well-received fan base. Being a step below the track-focused raucous and lap-time defeating Civic Type R, the Civic Si is a genuinely great car. The Si version of the wonderful Civic has always been a sporty car with a feisty attitude, planted inside of a normal, stable, and non-offensive car. Not everyone wants or needs the hardcore, fast and furious, stop-light racing aggressiveness of the Civic Type R. The Acura Integra Type S, the dominating Toyota Corolla GR, or the Subaru WRX STI S209, and so on a daily basis. So, kudos and hat tip to Honda and its engineers for keeping the Si alive and for gifting us with a wonderful three-pedal vehicle. To my viewers, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I hope the time you spent watching this video was useful, helpful, informative, worth your time, and beneficial in every way. I would absolutely love to hear what your thoughts are in the comments section, and if there is anything I can do to make these videos better, more engaging, more informative, or interesting, please feel free to let me know. I would really appreciate it. As always, I sincerely thank you in advance for your support. Thank you once again.